Good afternoon, Ellie, and welcome to Nora's Dog Training Company. We're here this afternoon with Parker and Rich. And what we're going to be demonstrating for you today on video is her ability to understand and respond to her obedience commands, the corrections and the motivation we give the dogs when we're working with them, and the training equipment that we're using. Rich is using a regular 6-foot web training leash, and he keeps the bulk of the leash folded neatly in his right hand. That leaves the left hand free to give the correction, and the only correction that we give here at school is a little tug and let go on the training collar. That is the second piece of equipment that we're using. Parker's going to come home with her very own training collar, and you'll be taught how to use that properly on Saturday during your one-on-one follow-up training session. Now Parker's sitting very nicely at Rich's left, which is where all of our obedience training is done. And the first exercise that we're going to be demonstrating for you is the heel. The heel is proper walking on a leash, and the command is Parker heel.
Parker heel.
At this point, Parker has a job to do, and that is for her to stay even with your left leg, not dragging you down the street, and each time that you stop your feet, she has been taught to sit automatically to wait for her next command. So that when you're walking out in public, you have a dog that's well under control, that is focused and isn't dragging you. Keeping her head up, and each time that you stop, she sits automatically. So when you stop to talk to a neighbor or cross traffic, she's sitting nicely at your left and waiting for her next command. And the next command that we're going to demonstrate is the stay.
Stay.
The stay is a hand and a voice command, and because it is a stationary exercise, it is a one-word command. Now she was getting ready to do another command that she wasn't asked to do, and you saw Rich give her a little tug on her training collar. The long sit stay, when you're practicing at home, you should practice indoors as well as outdoors. When Rich returns back to her, he walks all the way around her as an additional distraction, and she should remain seated until she gets praised and is released, and they take off heeling again. Remember, if you speed up on your walk, she should speed up. If you slow down or change direction, she should do the same. She should always be focused on you. And we walk a fine line with her, because if you amp her up too much or overpraise, then you lose her focus.
No.
Rich is going to leave her in another sit stay.
Stay.
And these sit stays are from 1 minute working up to 3 minutes. And we'll be teaching you how to incorporate them into your everyday living situations. Now Rich is going to demonstrate the recall, or the come on command. He uses her name and the word come, and she comes right in front and sits. And that's going to start to help eliminating the jumping problem. She doesn't get praised for coming until she's sitting like a lady. Nice automatic sets.
Stay.
And Rich will demonstrate that recall exercise again for you.
Stay. Parker, come.
Uses her name. He tells her good girl on the way in, so she comes in. She comes right in front, looking up at him, and sits. Perfect. And then she goes all the way back to heel. And everything starts and stops at heel position. Now the next exercises that we're going to set up for are the command that Parker's been trying to show us since we first came out here. And that is her down commands. And there are two. There's down from a heel position is the first one that we're going to show you.
Down.
So with your dog seated at your left, you take your left open palm, press it straight down toward the ground, and the one word firm command to down. The long down stay when you're practicing at home, and you can practice right in your living room, is for 3 to 5 minutes. And this builds attention span and focus and maturity. And when Rich returns back to her, he walks all the way around her just as he did on the sit stay. He praises her, which is a release, and then they're going to set up and they're going to show that to you again. These down commands are really important. Your sit stays and your down stays, all of the commands are important.
I'm sorry. Down.
This is your down from a heel again.
Parker, come.
And we're going to be teaching you how to use these exercises in your everyday living situations. Back around to heel, back sitting, perfect. And the next exercise that we're going to demonstrate for you is your down from a distance. This is a little bit harder command because the dog's not right beside you. So with your dog seated at your left, you take your left open palm, and now she wants to down. She loves to do it, so you shouldn't have a problem with it.
Sit. Stay.
Rich leaves her in a sit stay. Walks out to the end of his training leash. This is the only time that you use your right hand to give the command.
Down.
Now all the times that she wanted to down on her own, then when she's told to do it, she doesn't. So the pointer in her is very prevalent. You can see that she has a mind of her own. She can be a little stubborn. And you just have to make up your mind to be more stubborn, but I think that she's done a fabulous job here at school. She's been a pleasure. We'll discuss all of her issues with you when you come to pick her up and how we feel is best to handle them. She's done a great job. She's had a great time. We've enjoyed having her, and thank you for choosing Nora's Dog Training Company.